In this video, we are going to look at 8.2 biodiversity. Let's look at the concept of biodiversity, where it is divided into three types. Genetic diversity. Genetic diversity refers to genes variation of an individual within a population ataupun kepelbagaian gene, and gene variation between different populations, populasi yang berbeza, but of the same species. So what leads to differences in gene? It can be due to individual isolation or adaptation to different environments. So in other words, no two individuals of the same species are identical. Okay, so let's look at the examples. Okay, the huge variety in gene combination allows gene variation. So huge variety, kombinasi gene. Okay, so this is the one allowing for kepelbagaian genetik dalam tumbuhan, for example, paddy. Many varieties of cultivated rice all over the world. Okay, the second type is species diversity, kepelbagaian species, which refers to variation and variability of organisms on Earth. Okay, species diversities include species richness and also species evenness. Okay, species richness means it includes the total number of species in a community. Banyak-banyak species lah kita cakap kekayaan species itu. Okay, the total number of species dalam sesuatu community. And species evenness ini, okay, it refers to the species distribution. Taburan species itu dalam sesebuah community. Okay, example, tropical rainforest. This has large species diversities, about 5 to 10 millions of insect species, and then there can be more than 2 million species of flowering plants. Itu yang kita sebut sebagai kekayaan spesies itu. Ada pelbagai jenis spesies dan juga dia punya dari segi taburan spesies tersebut. Okay, so the third one is ecosystem diversity, yang merujuk kepada ekosistem ataupun environment itu, referring to the biotic community. Okay, that means the living component and also the ecological process in ecosystem. Okay, biar mahupun di daratan, land or the sea or other aquatic environments. So it refers to the environment ataupun dia punya ecosystem itu. Example, ecosystem rich in biodiversity can be found in oceans, in desert, and even in the swamped kawasan baya. Dan inilah dia punya konsep biodiversity yang merujuk kepada genetik, spesies, dan juga kepelbagaian dari segi ekosistem. Okay, so let's look at phylogenetic tree. Okay, what is the meaning of phylogenetic tree? Phylo, perkataan itu sendiri, is defined as a race, tribe, or a group of organisms. Jadi phylo sebagai prefix dalam phylogeny ini, it refers to the evolutionary history of a species or a group of organisms that are genetically linked. Maksudnya dari segi hubungan itu, mereka adalah berhubung dari segi genetik. Okay, so a phylogenetic tree ini sebenarnya it's a diagram that represents hypotheses on the evolutionary relationships among a group of organisms. Bagaimana satu kumpulan organisma itu adalah berhubung kait dari segi dia punya evolusi itu, the evolutionary history. Okay, there is also phylogenetic classification. Apa itu? It's the classification system that shows the evolutionary relationship, history of the studied organisms. So dua aspek ini, okay, yang menentukan dia punya klasifikasi of the phylogenetic. Okay, it is now used in many modern classification system lah. Okay, jenis klasifikasi phylogenetic ini. Where the classification is done, bagaimana dia dibuat, is done by using a homologous structure. Homologous structure. Okay, what is the meaning of homologous structure? It is a structure ataupun body parts ataupun body anatomy that can be observed across multiple organisms which share the same ancestor. Dia punya leluhur itu adalah sama, even though the function of the structure may be different from one another. Okay, let's look into the homologous structure. Okay, for example, this figure 8.6 showing the homologous structures in multiple organisms, different organisms. The limbs of 4 animals actually, human, cat, whale, and also bat. And they share the same bone structure. The bone structure appears to be the same, but in terms of size, dari segi size, and in terms of length, it is very different. Very different. So despite differences in the function, so we can see that the limbs of these 4 animals originate from one common ancestor. Daripada satu leluhur yang lazim ataupun sama. Okay, so the evolutionary relationship and the history between the different types of the species, okay, can be depicted via a phylogenetic tree. Daripada sini bagaimanakah kita cuba menggunakan phylogenetic tree untuk menunjukkan the evolutionary relationship and also the history. Okay, in the next slide, yeah. Okay, the branches in the phylogenetic tree shows how a species or a group of organisms diverged. Diverged, maksudnya dia bagaimana dia datang kepelbagaian itu datang daripada ataupun berasal daripada one same ancestor. Okay, so this is it. This is a phylogenetic tree of land plant, tumbuhan daratan. So, daripada di sini, one common ancestor, that's the green algae. Okay, just now here in the slide it says showing how a species ataupun a group of organisms is diverging from the same ancestor. So you see, they diverged daripada sini, non-vascular plants and also vascular plants, and from here diverged whether it's seedless or they are the seed plants, okay, diverged, and some more from here seed plants diverging into non-flowerings, kita panggil gymnosperm, ataupun flowerings, angiosperms. Okay, so inilah contoh phylogenetic tree. So evidence suggests that land plants evolved from green algae. Okay, so this is the description of this phylogenetic tree. Dia evolve ataupun berevolusi daripada green algae. So the first land plants originated from the non-vascular plants. Okay, daripada such as the moss, and also followed by the seedless vascular plants, the fern. Daripada vascular, then advance into gymnosperms and also angiosperms, which are the vascular plants with seeds. Okay, so examples of gymnosperms and angiosperms, okay, they are the conifer. Okay, ini dia punya seed tu dekat luar, ada cone, like a cone shape, and also flowering plants respectively. Okay, and we say that the angiosperms are considered the most successful plants sebab dia punya seeds ini, they are enclosed within the fruits to ensure the species survival, unlike the gymnosperm di mana kita nampak seeds dia adalah berada di luar. Okay, now the importance of biodiversity on our environment and also human. Back in Form 2, actually you have learned about biodiversity and the importance, di mana kita sebut dari segi sumber makanan, okay, perubatan, and also education lah. Okay, so actually apart from these three, biodiversity is important to maintain balance, keseimbangan. Mengekalkan keseimbangan dalam alam, okay, be it for recreational reason or scientific research. So every one of us, we need to play our roles in preserving and also conserving biodiversity. Supaya dia tidak musnah, okay, we have to preserve, memelihara dan memelihara biodiversity. Okay, so we have terms right here, in situ and also ex situ conservation. In situ, ex situ conservation. Dia punya bezanya adalah if it is in situ conservation, okay, pemuliharaan itu, in situ here refers to the original habitat, maintaining the species in their original ataupun dia punya natural habitat, such as the national park and also the permanent forest reserves, hutan simpan. Ataupun ex situ conservation, this refers to efforts to conserve the species which is found outside of their natural habitats. Contohnya zoo ataupun botanical gardens, these are outside of their natural habitats already. We built these gardens and also zoo for the animals, for the species to stay there and doing all the efforts of conserving the species which is now already outside of their natural habitats.